Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mate Night, where we are reviewing films until someone invites us to the Cannes Film Festival.
Just do it, you bastards.
You are hosted by myself, Jamie, and as always, I'm joined by, let me find it,
You got one.
the fast, the absolute blast, and the man who's not in last.
The man who's scared of his past.
It's Fred.
But I'm fast, so it doesn't matter. I can run away
He can
from the
outrun
issues.
his past. It's a healthy character trait, that.
Yeah, it's development as well.
Have you ever seen a film where they have a passer running away from, and the moral of the story is just they were faster than it?
Oh, mate.
That would be a good
Why
one.
don't we write? He was just too fast.
So today, I'm going to do a quick rating review of the new Formula One movie.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Rattle it out, and then I'm going to do a segment, a Formula One fan complaining about the Formula One film.
So some complaints.
Well, you know, I
Complaint corner.
I didn't have a lot of time, so I just wrote like you know
Some things you
something.
didn't like.
We'll rethink the title.
I'm always here to hear things that people don't like about things.
It will be complex. It will be
Reasoned,
varied.
well formed. Oh no, I respect.
No,
your
it won't.
No.
We won't be doing the May Night Machine, I don't
For
think,
Formula One.
because only one of us has watched it, and it just doesn't ever seem to carry the same weight if we're
When
not.
one person has. Yeah, no. Okay, cool.
So, well, strap in, rather fittingly.
I was thinking this the minute you said strap in, strap on,
Strap on.
and
Let's.
broom.
I had one actually. Start your engines.
Oh, maybe we could incorporate that generally. I
love
start
that.
your engines.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that's a throwback. People should say start your engines more often when
Way
you're going
more
into it.
often.
When you're on Amazon, when you're ordering a pizza, when you're in a line, when you're in a queue, when you're
Yeah.
about to go on a ride,
Just fucking go for
when
it.
you're about to have a wee,
When you cycle to Paris,
which
which I've just done, and Fred, you're about to do. How you feeling for it?
We decided not to do it together.
We just,
We're going to see who's faster.
well, I did it in 3 days, so.
Yeah, I mean, by days, we will be the same.
Yeah. I mean, how are you feeling for it? You ready?
Oh, yeah, I think it'll be a lot of fun. We'll take this off air, but I'm excited to hear how yours went, to be honest.
Yeah, well, it was, I would say, cycling for 3 days, not as hard on the legs or the cardio as you'd expect, a hell of a lot harder on the neck and the arse.
Well, arse, I would have guessed, but you always have your neck. You always struggle.
And I thought that would just be me, but everybody was struggling with it, which made me feel better,
Okay,
actually. I
yeah.
love it when I'm struggling and then someone else is struggling too, you know.
Yeah, that's really the dream.
I
That's
feel-
life, isn't
I
it?
feel way better
like that's-
when everyone else
what a
is
metaphor.
suffering. So, yeah, but we'll chat about it later. But obviously it's been, 6 weeks?
It's been a while
It's been
since we've
ages.
mated.
Yeah, I
on
was
the
in
night.
North America for 2 weeks.
Yes, I did a trip. I think maybe France at one point.
Yeah.
Bonjour.
Yeah, Glastonbury.
Glastonbury as well.
It's been crazy summer.
Wow, that I must highly recommend, as always, to anyone who's on the fence. Though you can't do it next year, unfortunately, fallow. But bloody hell, it's good.
Are they doing the thing where they let the fields drain of weight?
Yeah, it's the year of the abroad festival next year.
Yeah,
Primavera.
okay. Yeah.
I think we should go together. It's been a while since. Have we ever festivaled?
Surely.
I don't know. Maybe
Maybe not.
Maybe a little
We'll have to
one.
go to an international one because
I think international rules.
Britain has banned Fred from
Yeah,
any kind
yeah.
of shenanigans.
No shenanigans in Britain, but
Just turn your mic up like a tiny, tiny bit. But I reckon that's enough preamble. It was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
good to be back.
great to be here. Great to be heard by you.
By ourselves later on today.
By you, Trevor.
I would say
actually,
that-
Trevor might actually listen to
Hello,
it.
Trevor.
Hi, Trevor.
This is going to be a little bit of an ongoing problem, I realise, is you know how summer gets. This isn't the
Yeah.
only summer that we've been this busy. It happens every year. And also, all the big blockbusters come out at that time. So we've missed so much.
Missed a few.
So many of the good ones.
We'll try. I think, if we get good audience interaction with these, then we will really knuckle down.
So, if you're listening, audience, interact.
Yeah, if we get some, if we get
3 views?
million views,
A million. Yeah,
then we'll
it's
do
a
another
lofty goal.
one. We'll do another
episode.
film.
Okay. Well, let's get moving then.
Yeah,
So,
go on.
Formula One movie, 7.9 on IMDb at the minute.
Oh, that's decent. Decent whack.
Cost $300 million to make, 400 million box office.
Okay. So, all right.
It's done all right. I mean, it's one of those interesting things that's come out more in the last 10 years where Apple produced it and it had Apple headphones all in it and loads of other product placement. And although the budget doesn't take marketing into account, the box office doesn't take into account like product placement and things like that. So it's going to make shitloads, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Okay. I never really thought about that. So yeah, the advertising in film is not incorporated into box office. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So two like pretty massive parts of the finances of a film are just not taken into consideration with it.
I wonder how much they balance each other out. Is marketing considerably more? You've heard the famous marketing doubles the budget.
Which has got to be wrong. That's just way too
double it.
Like, why
yeah, it doesn't seem like someone just made that up.
How much are we going to spend on marketing? It's like, how much did we spend on the film?
But we've said this before, and as you said, it does seem to be kind of common consensus that it doubles it. So
it's not just everyone going, no, we don't know. So
everyone agreeing with Steve.
Wow.
And sorry to interrupt, but I wonder how much product placement, certainly
was
ones in
this
the case
one,
of Apple.
or how much it contributes.
Well, I suppose it varies more.
Well, I watched Bullet Train, and that had like every other scene had a blatant product placement, almost like a YouTube ad level blatant. And then you've got other films where they might even not do it at all. So obviously it's going to make a bit of a difference for that. And then you've got the interesting situation where Apple are using their products in it as well. So you don't. There's no way they're going to quantify that.
I mean, it sounds like 100%. That's the sort of thing that Apple would do: is pay themselves and make it look like they have earned more based on
their Bahamian branch.
Yeah. Someone's paying someone. Some fat cat's getting some sugar from this, no doubt.
Fuck capitalism.
Fuck cats.
Well, anyway, so the basic synopsis of the film, I thought I'd just read out.
Please
and then
do,
that gets us all on the same page. So
Brad
on to
Pitt's
the
in
review.
it.
Formula One movie. It's a 2025 American sports drama film starring Brad Pitt as a racing driver who returns to Formula One after a 30-year absence to save his former teammates' underdog team, Apex GP.
Okay.
From collapse.
Okay.
I didn't see that little tag on the end.
But before you carry on, presumably people have made some sort of Brad Pitt stop pun.
Do you know what? When I was writing this, I almost did, and then I was like, nah, that's too low. It's too low.
We'll stop there. I thought so.
I hadn't heard anything.
Presumably everyone who's thought of it.
You wouldn't think of making that joke.
No. I was just soundboarding how bad a joke it
would be. Yeah, so
Brad Pitt stop. It starts. Petition to change his name to Brad Pitt stop and have him only be in car-related films.
Well, yeah, fucking. Anyway, on to the review.
I'm having a lot more fun on this one than I expected.
Damson Idris? Damson, is that how you'd say it? The lead guy? Let's assume that's right. Kerry Condon to fucking Javier Bardem.
That's the attitude to
We're
have.
also in this movie.
Just mispronounce Javier Bardem's name as well.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
The film was directed by Joseph Kosinski, which actually is quite interesting because he did Top Gun Maverick. And technically, in terms of execution, but also in terms of sort of the action-y element, they're not like super dissimilar films, if you know what I mean. So we'll get into that. But and the story was written by the two. Aaron Kruger, whoever the fuck that is.
I think you should have just stopped it. The story was written. That really worked for me.
All right, so I'm going to start with my score.
Yeah, I'm keen to hear.
Do you want to count me in?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, this is enjoyment. This is subjective. Just like, was it enjoyable film? Yes or no?
And see if you notice the kind of difference in the way that I count you in.
Okay.
Beep. Beep.
7.9.
Oh, well, that's original, Jambo. 7.9, you say. What was the IMDb score?
7.9.
So it's pretty much bang on with
for
common
enjoyment.
consensus.
Yeah. Broadly, I think there was surprising character complexity. I would say I was pleasantly surprised by because they've got this whole dynamic of old dog, new tricks, young gun, arrogant, and I kind of rolled my eyes at the concept, but actually the dynamic had its complexities and was interesting. So I liked that.
And you know what's better than character complexity is surprising character complexity.
That's true, yeah.
When you go into something not expecting it,
yeah,
that's always the best.
Yeah, exactly. So if you go in with low expectations, then it can only go up. Right?
It's been actually to the detriment of our scoring in several instances.
Almost
where
always.
Given
and then you watch it a year later thinking it's going to be shit, and then it's not that bad.
Yeah.
I went into this really excited, by the way, because I quite like Formula
You like your F1,
and I like filmmaking, and it's quite an interesting filmmaking
for sure.
Exercise. So characters across the board I quite liked. I really liked them, and the performances again really good. Brad Pitt is just always going to be like it's just fan service at this point. You're just there to watch Brad Pitt do pull-ups and shit.
Looking hunky. Does he get some good hunk? Does he get a hunk on in this?
He does, yeah, but he kind of carries a much older character with it, if that makes sense. Like the character is supposed to be old, and he does integrate that a bit into his hunkiness. So
a weathered hunk,
a kind of weathered hunk. Yeah.
Okay, and some of the best hunks of all time.
Yeah, I mean Brad Pitt is just the example of that these days. I mean he can't help himself.
Yeah, but Hubert Jackman as well. I mean,
Huge jacked
man. I think Ben Affleck as well in Batman was he was pretty hunky older gent. I think you've got Brad Pitt who is a lot older, but also considerably more hunky
than anyone in existence.
Anyone who's happened to be. So
yeah, I mean what a guy. So great, good characters, good performances. Brad Pitt playing Brad Pitt. There was musically it was interesting. The score was done by Hans Zimmer, I think.
It's a good start.
And it was great. The soundtrack had a really, really broad range of songs in it, which was,
to its detriment? Cool. No?
Depended on the song a bit, to be honest with you. But it was, generally, these are all my justifications for why it's like at least a 7.
Yeah, okay.
Plausibly an 8. I think the thing that really held it back for me was like, they kind of found creative ways of just doing, like, narratively, of just doing like, I mean, when you talk about whodunit books and you're like, they kind of, it's always going to feel kind of the same, even if they figure out slightly different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
For me, racing movies are similar, and they had that a little bit. They had a creative way, which I will get into, of like how they got to the end.
Okay.
But it still just kind of felt like, okay, yeah, like from the moment this movie started, obviously it was going to end well. Do you know what I mean? It was just so obvious. So, fine. Narratively.
Okay, that's fine. You come into it expecting that, but it's not a massive detractor.
Not a massive detractor. So,
I feel like there are things you want to get off your chest there.
Oh, mate. Oh, so we'll get on to the Formula One fan reviewing the Formula One film, because the two strongest feelings I have for this film come from this. The first, right, I would say I'll start with the positive. Let's start with the positive. Okay. I like my filmmaking. I like cinematography.
You do? Yeah.
In Formula One, when you're watching it, do the cars sometimes look a little bit slow? Like on the screen. They don't look like they're going 250 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It actually felt like what you wanted it to feel like when you watch Formula One, where all the angles were like the same as what you get on the TV, but just tweaked enough by a filmmaker that it felt like how you would want it to feel every time you watch.
Urgent and exhilarating.
It was, it felt violent actually. When they were doing the shots from in the car, it felt fast basically. Whereas when you watch it on TV, you're like, they don't look like they're going that fast, but obviously they are. So I thought that the cinematography was an incredible feat. It came off really, really well. It felt violently fast, which is what I always want Formula One to feel like when I'm watching it, and it kind of fed me that in a format that angles wise look like what you see on the screen, but just way better.
Okay, nice.
Interestingly, one of the ways that they managed to do this was from a technique from, I think it was Top Gun Maverick, where A camera basically has a sensor in it that picks up the light, and then it has the rest of the body of the camera which processes everything. And for Top Gun Maverick, they built a camera that separated the sensor from the rest of the body. So you could put it onto like a fighter jet and it would move around, and it doesn't carry a massive fucking camera with it.
Right, okay.
They did the same with this, and that's kind of partly how they managed to pull off these incredible...
And that was pioneered by...
Top Gun Maverick, I believe.
Okay.
So very interested. Like I've never heard of anyone ever having done anything like that before, like separating the sensor from the rest of the camera. I think it might transmit digitally, like live or something like that.
So the sensor presumably is kind of negligible in size, obviously compared to the camera, but what we're talking...
It would be the same. It would be the same size sensor. So like you'd probably be looking at 2-3 inch diameter size lens, basically, with a smaller sensor behind it of probably about maybe 2 centimeters.
Yeah. Okay.
So still, like when you look at a cinematography camera, it's like a big hunky thing that you got to carry around that just you could not rig on a Formula One car very easily. In addition to all of that as well, I don't know if you've ever watched the Formula One when they were trying to film this, but like the scheduling that must have gone into it to get these shots is ridiculous. There's like tiny little windows that they could have got any of these shots in, and they just managed to pull it off. So
were they at Formula One events?
We saw them. We saw Brad Pitt racing at Silverstone. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, so they drive around quite a lot slower than the Formula One cars because it's not a real Formula One car. You might have guessed.
And Brad Pitt's not a real Formula One driver.
Although you might be convinced.
No, I'd be convinced of anything.
So they turn up to the actual events, and then like you know how big these events are, and they're trying to squeeze in like filmmaking when they are doing the national anthem. There's like I went to Silverstone last year, and the scheduling is just insanely tight. So in terms of the cinematography across the board, amazing, really, really cool. When it wasn't racing, it felt so polished, so clean and polished that it all looked like a car advert. That's probably the one thing I would say. It was like absolute digital perfection.
And you liked this?
Mostly not.
Okay.
However, when they had scenes where they were like building the cars, it came like almost like Tony Starky sort of energy, but like better,
like chrome,
less CGI and more. And so at times it really worked, and at times it just felt like it just felt unauthentic.
Yeah, good for transitional scenes.
Yeah, good for any kind of mechanical scene, any scenes with like digital screens everywhere and people tapping on their keyboards and saying shit into headsets.
Right, okay.
Like, works great for that.
Shit's going on.
Yeah.
When shit's going on, it's good, right?
On to the thing that was probably worse. Now, I liked this film.
Yes.
And I knew going in as a Formula One fan, I was like, they're not making it for me. So I'm not expecting F1 like rigor narratively because they want to appeal to the masses. Okay. So that's fine. We'll take it with a pinch of salt.
We've been there. We've seen this before in other sports films. You got to get I understood. Go on then.
Fucking hilarious. The funniest narrative ever.
Right.
So this team's been getting 21-22 in the because they've added an extra team, so there's 22 positions, and they've been getting 21-22 for the whole season. Spoilers ahead, by the way. Do you mind hearing?
I have no issue with spoilers.
And basically, the conflict of the plot is if they don't win a Grand Prix by the end of the season, then Javier Bardem loses his team. That's basically the main sort of conflict in it.
They have to win. So
they bring in a fucking 60-year-old to drive this fucking rocket ship.
Classic.
And so the strategy had 3 points. Okay, so we're going to do an F1 strategy analysis. Number 1, replace your driver. So they replaced him with a 60-year-old.
Yeah.
Just to make it very clear to anyone listening who doesn't watch Formula One, that wouldn't work. You cannot put a 60-year-old in a fucking... I mean, maybe he was 50, but he was way too old to be brought in to the slowest car on the grid, and then expect him to win. Fine, okay. Number 2, okay, make the car faster.
Yes,
That was their strategy.
Second point though.
That's the second point.
Firstly, it's imperative we get this 50/60-year-old.
And it was because it took that 50-year-old and his old tricks to tell them
how to make.
He goes, build the car for combat, and they're like, okay. And then they build it for combat, which basically just means fucking faster.
Yeah. All right. So you know better than It's not the bygone era of like the 20s and 30s where people basically, the driver was the mechanic.
Yeah. But that's how this film presented it.
Sure.
Brad Pitt owned the show. He turned up and he just told everyone where to go and what to do, which more nitpicky I didn't mind, but just would never fucking happen. Like they would tell him to do strategies, which brings me to point 3 of their strategy. And he would blatantly fucking ignore them to the point where he wanted a certain set of tires, right, early on. He comes in for his Brad Pitt stop, right? He pulls up. He wants soft tires. You got 3 different tires main in Formula One. He wants the soft ones. The main F1 strategist is saying, you want to go mediums. And he goes, no, I want soft, right? They change his tires around, quick, nice and quick, good pit stop, 2-3 seconds, put the mediums on as the strategist says. He sits there and doesn't move. Right? And they don't do anything. They're like, what's going on? What's going on? He goes, I want softs. And he sits there for 30 seconds, right? And then they go, fine, you can have the softs. And then they put the softs on. And then he goes and gets from like 22nd to like fucking 7th or something.
My word.
After a 35-second pit stop. So they've got a 60-year-old who tells them to make the car faster. And then the main strategy that won them everything, right, that Brad Pitt brought in for combat was he comes out of the first race and I think everyone has just done their pit stop apart from his teammate. Okay, so those who don't watch Formula One, everyone's got to take a pit stop. It slows you all down. If you don't take it, you're obviously going to overtake those people who are changing their tires, but at some point you're going to have to change, right? In Formula One, if there is a crash, they'll bring out a safety car and it slows everyone down, and it basically means that the pit stop is less of a consequence. It matters less. Brad Pitt's teammate hasn't changed his tires, so he's in like fucking 10th, right? Which has never happened in this team's history. And he drives straight fucking into someone and goes, right, go change your tires. And they're like, okay, what a great strategy. They actually seem like really impressed by it. And then he does it 3 fucking times in the same race. Every time, comes out, causes another crash, changes tires. And then for the rest of the season, their strategy is old man, faster car, cause crashes.
Crashes and get nice set of tires.
And no one fucking investigates them for it. So they go from 20 seconds to winning their fucking race.
This is the sort of thing, to be fair, if you aren't into F1 at all, you might think, wow, it's just amazing how they've managed to design this winning story from these ingenious things.
It was amazing.
These ingenious tricks which must work in the environment of F1. When as someone who has less of a vested interest in F1 than you, even hearing that is infuriating. Because I found challenges annoying because of the way they bounce the ball before they serve.
Right, exactly.
Like, this is insane.
It's fucking, to be honest with you, it got beyond frustration. I just thought it was the funniest shit watching it.
Yeah, to be fair, if it gets, I mean, the way that they could really have capitalized on that is to make things even more ridiculous. It almost felt like they were trying to border on the realistic, if though far-fetched. But at that point, it's the sort of situation that just infuriates me so much that I would rather they just lent in so much. It's like, I've got this new engine that I've been trying out.
That is what they did.
That levitates the car.
They didn't quite go that far.
What about, has anyone thought, if we drive backwards?
Yeah, right, that's it. Go over the start line a few times. So fucking, it was completely and utterly ridiculous if you watch Formula One.
Yeah, okay.
But I do think that I spoke to a couple of Formula One fan friends and they were really frustrated by it. And for me, I actually quite like Formula One growing, and I like the fact that it's going to bring some people's interest over.
For sure.
And I think if you keep these things too technical, it's just not going to appeal to the masses. I get it; they've got to make a movie that sells, and on the whole, I enjoyed it. It was a good film, and I think it was a necessary evil for it to be profitable. Basically, when it cost $300 million,
And it's looking like it will be profitable, which is a good thing.
Definitely.
Remind me of the director.
Kaczynski.
It's interesting that he's 2 for 2 now on 60-year-olds getting in automobiles well past their prime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's kind of a weird niche to carve out.
The
for
similarities don't end there. It keeps going. Yeah, the similarities between Top Gun. I haven't watched Top Gun Maverick, so I'm not going to over comment on this. But I've watched a few reviews of the Formula One movie, and like everybody is just saying like he's just basically done Top Gun Maverick again. Like old guy, new tricks, like hyper machine thing that there's no fucking way on this earth that he could fly it, but we'll just pretend that he can.
Yeah, and well past his prime, but the pinnacle of what was excellence in that field, and makes it interesting because I think we can probably predict his next film.
What's it gonna be?
Well, I'm thinking boats. I'm thinking maybe the America's Cup, or maybe the boat race. Like
I didn't know you knew about boat racing.
I just know the famous ones.
Fuck?
Oxford versus Cambridge again.
Oh, like a rowing one.
A weathered George Clooney.
I think if you put him in a fucking rowing boat, that would be taking the piss.
But he's getting
up against like 28-year-old.
I think there's kind of we've gone from fighter jets to F1 cars, which although a step down, it is a step down. Yeah. So the next one may just be
a rowing boat.
Maybe a bit more of a jump.
Fucking hell. Well, anyway, there you go. So thanks so much for tuning in. We're going to do Superman next. So feel free to check in on your favourite podcast platforms, on YouTube, and we'll see you in Cannes.
Yes, we will. Thanks for that one. Lots of fun.